Good evening, everybody. Hello. Happy
Hello.
Wednesday. Happy Wednesday. How is everybody? I'm gonna not do personal hellos, so general hi, hello to everybody in the chat. And I'm sure the mods are saying hi to everybody. So happy Wednesday. Hi, Susie. How are you?
I'm good.
Good.
Doing much better.
Cool. Good to hear. So we just want to say a couple of things before we start. Um, we're basically here to give Susie a little bit of a platform. She asked, if she can come up and speak. She asked for me to be the moderator here, and she did ask for Just Keep It Real to be here, just for moral support. She is muted. The only time I would really maybe refer to her is if there's like maybe a time, like a date or something that she recalls and you don't. Maybe, yeah. Okay.
Sure.
But otherwise, she's just here for moral support. This is not going to be a bash anybody at all. We're not doing any bashing. I ask for the chat not to bash. Just keep it respectful. We're going to take questions after, we will take questions. Just try to hold them. We have some that I have already written out. We're going to ask, if it's something that pertains to what we're talking about, maybe, one of the mods can put up like a stop sign or something and say, hey, look at this, comment because it does pertain to what we're talking about at the time. That'd be great. Again, this is not a bash session. If Christy does want to come up, I will drop a link. Beezer has the link. Angie has the link as well, in case she's in the chat, wants to come up, and I don't see it. So know that. I'm just going through everything. I have my little notes in the beginning here. Susie, you have a right to answer anything that you're not comfortable with. We're going to respect, you as well. Respect, everything's going to be respectful today. Okay. That's how we're going to do it. And I think that's it. And we're going to start. I think looks like we have about 89 people in here. If that's what we do, please hit the thumbs up button for Beezer. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, so we're just going to start off with, I'm just going to ask you if you want to just tell us a little bit more about yourself, how you came to YouTube, how you met Christy, how you became friendly with her, just give everybody here a little background. I know some people know your story, some people don't. So we'll start with that.
Sure. I came to YouTube when the Marvin Dre McCrae thing had occurred with Molly.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, I didn't know anything about YouTube other than you could look up a video, how to fix a car, or do home repairs.
You're basically like me and a whole bunch of other people from here, which is great.
Right. Like you had no idea.
Yeah.
And then because of the Dre McCrae thing and being involved in Molly's group, then Michelle arrived on the scenes. And so that became something that she's quite entertaining.
Yeah, she is. I mean, everybody, she is, she's the person everybody loves to hate, unfortunately.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Definitely. So through all of that, and Christy had been a mod for Michelle and kind of broke away from that and started her own channel.
Okay.
And when she had started, I want to say that was in January of last year when she did that. I think shortly after her birthday, and there was, people were talking, and I did a little chat in her chatting with people, and she's like, oh, spicy little princess, you know what? Would you email me? I would love to chat and get to know you better.
Okay.
So that was kind of the start. And I will tell you, she was the sweetest person. She really, at the beginning, really showed, you know, a lovely person.
Okay, so she
Both
was
on the
somebody.
inside. Yeah, like
She
you
was somebody you
could,
wanted to get to know better. Yeah,
right.
yeah.
And then her and I would talk like all the time. And she's like, well, maybe you should come up on my panel and
Mhm.
talk about being a little person.
Right,
Well,
and I remember that. Yeah.
and so I had done that. And then I, before I forgot, when I first was in her chat, she made me a mod right away,
Mm-hmm.
which I thought was interesting because I didn't know what to do as a mod, but everybody becomes a mod when you enter her chat.
Yeah.
So,
But I
you
think
know,
she does that for a reason. She's given a reason. I think she's given a reason.
yeah, I think
Yeah.
so.
Yeah, she did.
Exactly. So then got to
May I
know
may
her.
I say something real quick?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Dat High Guy is asking what is a little person, and I think that's important.
Oh, as a little person, we'll use a medical term real quickly, bone dysplasia, which means the bones, like a growth differentiating. Like me, my torso is average size, like someone else my age, an average size person, and I just have short arms and short legs. I'm 4'3".
Okay.
So all little people are a little bit different, but
Right,
that,
right. But
so
yeah.
so I had talked about that, and Christy and I just had a really good relationship. And then she introduced me to Just Keep It Real.
Mm-hmm.
And one of her comments was, don't like her more than you like me. And just saying.
Okay.
And that was just something funny. I'm like, don't worry, But then the three of us became really good friends and
Right.
close friends.
Mhm.
And then fast forward, there was the Navy vet incident.
Right,
And
right. We're gonna talk. We have that to talk about.
then as our relationship progressed, the three of us, Just Keep It Real, and Christy and me, we all met in Atlanta. We had a lovely time.
Mm-hmm.
I spent the majority of the time with Just Keep It Real, but we had an evening with Christy and had fun, and we went out and thinking nothing was crazy. And then Christy and I, all of a sudden, she had ghosted me towards the end of October till about the middle of November. And like, I was devastated. Like, I thought there was something wrong with her. Are you okay? Because for whatever reason, just a very caring friend. And I would say, just keep it real. Have you talked to her? And at some time she'd be like, no, or yes. And I'm like, did I do something wrong? And well, I kind of did, but not really. It was a kind of, and then we had talked for a good week or two, had like back to normal conversation, and then again a long ghosting period. But that time I wasn't too worried about it because she had done that to me before.
Oh.
And there's a reason behind that. And then we had started talking again because her birthday was right there. And her big thing was, I didn't get her a present. But at that point, I had been sick with COVID, and I just really didn't have any extra
Of course.
spare.
Times are hard.
Which happens. Exactly.
Times
And
are hard.
they
But
are,
you
especially
know,
after the holidays.
and that's too. And that kind of all right. So I just want so when you went on her panel, because you did, when you went on your panel, and you did it was a live that was specifically set up for you to speak and tell
Right.
your story, right?
Exactly.
Because I was there, I listened. So this is a tough question, but I think people are going to want
Sure.
to know. Did you make any money off of that live stream, or any of them when you were when you
I'm sorry, kind of
when you
broke up.
specifically did she? I mean, was there anything discussed? Was there any
No,
funds that were taken in, or
there was not to my knowledge,
okay,
but we didn't even have a discussion about, I just did it out of the kindness of my heart.
okay,
I wasn't paid. I did it voluntarily. And that's kind of
and
where
if
it's
she
at.
got gifts, or then that was okay, all right. Because
That
I know
was,
somebody had asked me, about that, and
yes, no, I never have received any, monetary gain whatsoever,
okay,
like during our friendship.
okay. Now, now, okay. So I interrupted you on that one. I'm sorry. Okay, so I know there was a lot of reasonings. I know there was some, definitely some things that had gone down.
Right.
Um, what would you say? Um, so I'm just trying to make this.
That's okay.
Yeah, I'm trying to think about my words before I just blurt them out. But
Oh,
okay, back when. Okay, so was the Navy vet situation a part of that? And would you mind maybe why you kind of supported her throughout that whole thing?
because she was my friend,
Okay.
like
Okay.
a really close
Right.
friend.
Mm-hmm.
And did I tell her to return that money? Absolutely. Because she like made all the money like overnight.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, why didn't you just decline it? Well, she wouldn't let me. And I'm like, thinking in my brain, how do you get money out of people? How do you ask even people for money?
Well,
And,
yeah.
but there's, as I see now, that people can get caught up into thinking, oh, sure, I'll give you money. Oh, you need money. And that kind of thing. I can understand that because she has made different comments in the past about, oh, I don't, I don't have my credit cards. There's no way I can go grocery shopping. I can't do these types of things because I don't have any money. And of course, my general response was, well, ask your fiance. That was my general response to a lot of it.
But you did send her money
Yes,
okay.
I did. Not at the Navy that time,
Okay.
but in March.
Right. And I believe you posted a video on your channel, correct? That shows
Yes,
that shows all the money you did send to her.
right.
Yeah.
And the thing of it is until Just Keep It Real asked me, because I didn't hear the live where she said, I never sent Spicy Little Princess any money, or she never sent me any money.
Mm-hmm.
And Just Keep It Real said, are you sure? And she was talking about some makeup. And I'm like, well, let me look through my Venmo, because I know she had sent me some makeup in August, and we were like video chatting, and she's like she was cleaning her makeup room, and I'm like, oh, and then I asked her, let's say,
Oh wait,
about
I'm just going to interrupt you. I'm sorry. Julie can't find Susie's channel link. Can somebody do it? I think she was looking specifically for Susie's. It's under Susie, the Spicy Little Princess, right? Yeah,
right,
Susie to the front of it.
or just at Spicy Little
Yep.
Princess.
Oh, or at Spicy Little Princess.
Yeah.
Lisa.
So
Sorry.
that's
Thank you,
okay.
Angie. Angie dropped it.
And so I was asking her, how did you like that primer? You know, I had heard some really good things about it. And she's like, oh, I really loved it, blah, blah, blah. And then she all of a sudden found a tube and it was in the box. And she's like, oh my gosh, here, you can have this one of that or whatever. I said, are you sure you really don't need to do that? Because I'm not the asking kind of person for anything monetary. So she had pulled a bunch of other little things together while she was cleaning out her makeup room. And she's like, I want to send this to you. I said, okay, I'll pay for shipping. And I'm like, how much do you want for that? She's like, oh, nothing. I said, well, I'll at least pay for shipping. Well, then when I looked back at my transaction, I paid for shipping plus an additional like $30.
Wow.
Just because I was like, you know, she always talks about how she doesn't have any money and maybe this will help. But then, and I knew that it happened, there was nothing for free. But back in February or March of last year, I sent her a Venmo for her probation, which I had totally forgot about. She's like, can I borrow? I need probation money, blah, blah, blah. I'm going to go to jail, and a lot of emotion behind it. And I said, well, have your fiance pay for it? No, he's not paying for any of it. He said, I'm on my own and I don't have a job. All right. Well, after that tugs at your heartstrings for so long, and I don't know, I'm clueless about probation. I'm clueless about jail. I'm clueless about all those kind of things. So I did, plus the dollar, an additional $1 for the cashier's check. And I'm like, why do you have to why don't you go to the bank where your fiance works, you know, and get it there? No, I can't do that. And so I'm like, all right. So I sent her that. And then, you know, her vacation was coming up and the Amazon wish list and the wish list. And while she was over several of her lives, she really wanted this cloud sand towel. It's a particular brand and all of those things. And I'm like, okay. And probably by that time, I forgot already in March, because you get very sucked in, just the way her personality just kind of like sucks you in, if you know what I mean.
People tend to have that personality, of course.
Exactly. And then there was a few, and then there was 2 other times I sent her $10, you know, like for her vacation. So she had some spending money and other things a couple of times. And I didn't really think anything of it. But then the Navy vet situation occurred. And like, I was totally against that. Like, I was just like, what do you mean you can't give it back? I can't. She's got me blocked. And again, I don't have Cash App, so I don't know how the Cash App really works and things of that nature. So like, I had no clue. And my first response was, who's managing this woman's money? Because I'm really concerned. Like, $575, and that doesn't include all of the Cash Apps from YouTube and, super chats and memberships. Like, I'm like, wow, somebody needs to like reach out to her family. I mean, I think it was insane. And I had reached out to an individual at that time and shared my concern, an individual who knew Navy vet, shared my concern that this is going on and I don't know who can help her because I couldn't.
Right.
But that was like my big concern because I'm like, what do you mean you're not sending all the money back? Well, I spent it already. I'm like, overnight? You spent money overnight. And so that kind of, because when Jill had like intervened, it became no longer in my mind the visibility. It was one person fighting over money for another person. And so she had us really sucked in, like she did nothing wrong and that kind of thing.
Right.
So then, time moves on and you go through like the rest of our relationship. And overall, I would say our relationship was really good. Except when you look back at the signs, now you're looking at it very different.
When you
as
pull
an
back,
outsider.
yeah,
When
as an
you pull
outsider.
back, then you start noticing other things.
Mhm.
And it just kind of all flew up as of just a couple weeks ago. And I was really sad. I was really heartbroken that these things had happened and I couldn't sleep. And there was just so much that I was so disappointed because I was embarrassed. Not only was I embarrassed, but hurt. And all the emotional manipulation that I went through over the past year, and there's just a lot. It was a lot.
Right. Hey, but she's your friend, and you.
Absolutely.
I mean, you were one of her best friends. She said that herself.
Right.
I hate this best friend thing. I just think,
I know.
just keep it real as her best friend, but then she's got this. But you can't. To me, it's like,
Exactly.
yeah, it's yeah. But you somebody who's calling you her best friend, and they're just, I don't know, stringing you along or
Right.
yeah, because like even Jilly, I saw her little stop sign came up. I saw you, Jill. She probably. I wasn't in the conversation, and it'd be both of you that would be able to answer this. I'm sure she made it out like Jilly was the villain in this whole situation.
Yes. Very much so.
I mean, yeah. I mean, she's made it. She's made it vocal herself, so I'm sure she would be seeing things behind the scenes as well.
Exactly.
Oh, hold on 1 second. Give me a minute. I'm sorry, 1 second. I don't know. Oh, okay. I thought it was different subject. Just finger toast. Don't stop, Bomb. Don't make me laugh. I'm supposed to be serious with my notes and everything here, Bombshell. Much obliged. Much obliged. Okay. I said I promised I wasn't going to do that today. Were you aware if there was any other? And I hate to use the word grifting,
Right.
but things that were not so much on the up and up.
Well, of course, the Navy vet, but I really didn't understand grifting because I would never do that. But when our relationship started to waver was back in October when I was ghosted. And I kind of didn't know why I was ghosted. I was just being a really good friend and I disagreed with something that she had done,
Mm-hmm.
which could have significant consequences.
Oh, was this the can I say it? And was this the
No,
cooter?
this
Oh.
was before the cooter candy.
Oh, okay, okay. Because that's big. That could be some big consequences as well. That's
That is something like that's a whole nother.
okay. That's fine. So there was
But
another incident. Okay.
there was an incident that really, but it was portrayed as poor me, I don't have this. But at one point she had, and I'm sure everybody she talked to on the phone knew this, that she had gotten a letter from the state or whatever that she was no longer receiving benefits, including medical and food stamps and whatever other benefits, because her son didn't live with her. And now she has no way of getting money, and everything is around money,
Mm-hmm.
and whether it's buying things or money. And I said, well, first off, I can't believe that you did this in the first place when your child hasn't lived with you for several years. And
he's a minor child. I don't.
adult,
Oh, so
adult,
but you can't.
yeah.
You collect benefits on an adult child? Oh, there she is. Oh, I thought I saw.
No.
Oh, maybe I
But
just saw it out of the corner of my eye. It was
so
Angie. I'm sorry.
it was very, I was really livid.
Okay. All right. Well, let's. I don't want. Yeah,
But then the cooter candy was like the next incident in November.
the cooter candy.
And
Really nice.
it wasn't so much if she did that, but I don't understand why she did that, because when you go to jail,
Mm-hmm.
and even in the state of Georgia, whether you're there for 1 day, 2 days, or 3 days, if you have a valid prescription, they, based on what type of medication is, they do have to give it to you. Because of course they don't want people dying on their watch or becoming very extremely ill for the threat of them being sued.
Yeah, I've seen people come into jail and have had a Xanax addiction, and they won't give you Xanax in the jail here in my county. And I have seen girls just drop to the floor having seizures, going through withdrawals, and it's scary. It's scary to watch happen.
Right. So
Samantha,
then I was getting a little concerned that,
yeah.
do you even have a valid prescription? Oh yeah, I do, but they won't do it there. And I'm like, did you check? No, I just heard that they don't do it there. And me, that was just another moment. And then to know, she's like, should I do it or shouldn't I do it? I'm like, don't do it. And then a couple of days later, after she had staged, it's like, I did it and it worked. I was able to get in it, and I'm like, oh my gosh. But I said, you're pretty lucky, because you could have had more fines to pay and jail time.
Right. No,
And
yeah, it's true. It's true. I've seen another thing. I've seen girls trying to get stuff passed in through visiting, and they add more days on, and it becomes another charge, and it's not worth it. Not worth it.
No, it's not.
I was going to actually check on that fact with my boyfriend that's in Georgia, because he did do the weekend jail, but I couldn't get in touch with him today. He was on a job site, but now that you say it was the only thing that he was on at the time was something for acid reflux. They probably would not have given it to him. They probably would have never. It
would have been a waste of time.
Yeah, they're like, it's only 3 days, you could deal with it. But it was not. Yeah, it was nothing that was going to, if he didn't, life or death. But certain things I think they do. They have to, and especially if you go in with a pill bottle with the prescription with your name on it and everything else.
Right.
Uh,
So, yeah, you just have to work it out ahead of time and make sure
yeah.
that they have the resources that will do that, and they will give it to you as prescribed.
Yeah. So, again, you're her best friend. Just keep it real as her
Yeah,
best
other
friend.
best friend, right?
You know,
And I'm sure everybody
you're on
else
the
is.
you're on the list of best friend. You're on the best friend list. I hope you got your bracelet.
Yeah.
And you were a mod for her, correct? You were a mod for her.
Yes. Uh-huh.
Membership to her.
I did have a membership on her channel
Mm-hmm.
up until about November because she had fallen off of YouTube at some point. I don't remember if it was October or November. And then I'm like, oh, yeah, I have a membership to her channel. I should just, cancel it. Well, then I never renewed it either.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason I didn't is because she was obsessed with people to become members of her channel, not for any reason except for I'd like to get my $100 check every month. But if it's less than $100, okay. And I would see people, I know, just keep it real, and I both were gifted a membership to her channel for 1 month, and then that kind of fell off.
Yeah, you only get
And
those for a month and they fall off. It's up to you to renew those.
exactly,
Yeah.
right. But it was a big deal that we weren't members of her channel. But I just oh my gosh.
No, everybody,
This is about the money.
I
And
think the majority of the people here are either on some kind of a fixed income or live paycheck to paycheck So to even question somebody about why or how. But Beezer has a question. Yes.
Mizzy Beezer has a question.
I know, I have it up on the screen. Yeah.
Okay.
Thanks, hon.
Sorry.
So no, this just goes back to the thing about her losing her benefits. Was she receiving any kind of food assistance when she was getting money for groceries? So I guess people were giving her money for her groceries. Well, yeah. Well, no, I know Navy Vet did, but I guess there was other people as well. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Wow.
And her fiance, who she lives with, has an amazing job.
Mm-hmm. Which is nice. I mean, look. I mean, I'm sure he's. You know what? I'm sure he worked his ass off for that position. I'm sure he did. And and I mean, I'm of the camp where I like to pay my own way. But
yeah, me too. I never saw that.
I don't feel like I want to. I don't know why. I feel like if I start to depend on somebody monetarily, they could basically tell me to go F off, and I got nothing. So
exactly.
I was always kind of that mind frame of take care of yourself.
Right.
All right. So that was the member. Okay. So, but when did you, and I know that there was there's, when we're going to I mean, if you want to discuss it now, when did you start to question your friendship, other than when you found out things that were said about you personally that were,
really, I had, over the last month, since the beginning of January, it was this constant begging for us to become members, even in three-way chats. And I had talked, I said, oh, I think I'm finally ready to start my own channel. She's like, well, if you support mine, I'll support yours. And I'm like, what the hell is that kind of a statement? Because that's what best friends do. And I just like that kind of it just made me so upset and so angry. And then on February 23rd, I hadn't talked to her for a couple of weeks, and she finally answered my call. And of course, she was in distress. She had no gas. and her grandson was with her.
Mm-hmm.
And I heard him in the background because I said hi. And
Well, she looks after him, correct?
yeah,
Oh,
occasionally she'll have him.
okay, yeah.
I think so. Because they live a little bit far. And she was
Oh,
telling me she has no gas to get back home. And she's like, I'd really like to buy him an ice cream. And she goes, I didn't realize when I left home that I didn't have my credit card. So when I went to Dollar Tree, I had a basket full of things and I went to check out. And then I realized I didn't have my card. And a nice lady behind me paid for everything that I had. And I'm like, okay, whatever. That was really nice of her, kind of thing. But I don't know how I'm going to get back home. I don't have any money. And I told her again, why don't you call your fiance? And the response was, he's in a meeting and he doesn't have his phone with him. Well, I worked in corporate America for almost 30 years, and
mm-hmm.
you always had your phone with you whenever, all the time.
I
You
get
just do.
text messages at 5:30, 6 o'clock in the morning because they know I'm awake.
Exactly.
So my phone is on
Right?
me all the time. But mom is the boss. Now that you're saying about, how you always said, what about the fiance?
Right.
Okay, so mom is the boss is saying,
And
you know if he's real or he exists, and maybe the
ex-
two of you could answer that, just keep it real as well. Is she up here still?
yeah, I think she's muted.
Oh, okay. It didn't look like her.
I'm
Okay.
here. I'm
Okay,
dealing
there you
with
go. All right.
I'm dealing with grandbabies. I'm here.
Oh, right. You're away right now.
Hmm.
So I just real quick, and I
So
just.
I do believe he's real.
Mm-hmm.
She lives in his house with him and all of these things. And then I said, well, why don't you call your daughter? Because I know if my kid was somewhere and they didn't have any gas money or whatever, I'd be like, oh my gosh, I'll take care of that. No, she's busy, she's working. And I'm like, this is kind of weird. And I said, well, I don't have Cash App. And she's like, well, and this really pained me. It was like the nail that put it in the coffin, where she's like, that's okay. I sent a text out to Golden Treasure. She's very generous.
Wow.
And that's when the lights went off in my brain. And I had talked to Just Keep It Real behind the scenes, and the story was a little bit different, using the story that Just Keep It Real said she did when she called her was different, like pulling at heartstrings regarding grandbabies, and
Mm-hmm.
the other one for me. And I'm like, oh my gosh. And a couple hours later, I text her to see if she made it home safely. And she's like, no, we're still stranded here. And I don't know where stranded here is. I'm just assuming
Right.
that they
Yeah. She
were
could be in a McDonald's
still.
parking lot for all you know.
Yeah, right. She
Right.
could be in her backyard,
Right.
for as much as I knew. And that this is what grifting is, because I really didn't think it was me. But when I asked my fiance, what would you do? What if I ran out of gas and I called you? What would you say? Tough luck? Or he's like, Susie, I would drop everything and help you out.
Or make sure you're safe and get you some
Yeah,
money, or make sure you're safe and okay, hang out. I'll be there as soon as I can, or
right.
AAA, or I
There's so much. And
yeah.
and then the other comment that she had made is, I'm like, so you put out a broadcast message to people that you know to help you when you didn't even ask your own family or your own partner that those questions, or even make a phone call to them.
Right. Correct.
So
yeah.
And so it had me very disheartened, I should say. Like, I was so disappointed. And that's when I started feeling this has been going on for quite some time. And then the incident and then we had a couple of days later, after she did a live, when Jane's Blonde had made a comment that really offended Just Keep It Real, really offended.
Yeah.
And then that whole thing came about, and she did not want to apologize to Just Keep It Real. And I was encouraging her to do that. If she's your friend, your real life friend,
her best friend,
yes, then you would do that. And
Yeah.
she's like, oh, all right, whatever. Like, basically, that's what I felt based off the text message. That's not what she said, but she didn't understand why she had to do that. And then I knew it's not about, it's about her. And when she did her little apology, her outing of Just Keep It Real after our friends live stream that we did together, Just Keep It Real and myself, that I was very, it was horrible because she wasn't even listening to Just Keep It Real. She was monitoring her chat.
I know. I saw that. Now, and
Mm-hmm.
I said it when Just Keep It Real was on panel. I said I watched hers first, from beginning to end, and then I watched the one you did on Just Keep It Real's channel from beginning to end. And honestly, and I know the both of you, and I knew the situation prior. 100%, I would never have known that you were talking about her, ever have known, by your conversation. So,
and we really weren't talking about her. We were talking about our experiences and what friendships mean to us.
I don't think, I'm going to go. Sorry, I just saw a stop sign, and it was about, no, I can't find it.
And I really wasn't going to say anything. I wasn't going to say anything at all publicly. That wasn't my intent. But the more I had thought through things, and I was losing sleep over this, and I literally, had, because I didn't sleep for a couple of days, I had like a low-grade fever, and I was nauseous and all of this. But during that period of time, I was looking back at all of the red flags, and I kind of overlooked them and realized what had happened. But there's one caveat here.
Mm-hmm.
Is I had received a phone call after Christy had outed her and Just Keep It Real and their incident. And with my phone call, I had received I'm just letting you know, do you realize when Christy talks about you, you are her, I'm just going to say the word if that's okay.
That it's up to you. This is
I'm okay.
all you. This part is all you.
That's okay. This your midget friend. And what? That, as you know, and I've explained it to her at the very beginning when I met her, that is so derogatory. The connotation you can relate to, refer us as little people. It's a bad word. It's just like, as the time has come through history, different groups of people, they were called one thing and now it's something else.
Right.
Like, it's as offensive as the N word or
Right.
the C word. It's so offensive. And to know that, and this wasn't just from one person, this was from several people. And I was so upset and hurt
Right.
by
Yeah.
something. So she wouldn't have had to say that. Oh my gosh, she didn't have to say any of that
And no
to anybody.
apology, nothing. Yeah.
Nothing. And never, but I didn't tell her I knew about that because this was after. It was that I don't need to talk about this. I'm so angry. I'm so done.
And to even okay, so first of all, she should have phrased it as my friend, Susie.
Exactly. Right.
Not even my little person friend Susie. You're her friend,
Right.
Susie. That's first.
Exactly.
Does she say my, this person friend? Or does she have a label for all of her friends? Does she have like a little brother PC and everybody gets a little label where her friends are? This is my friend that is generous, and this is my friend who has brown skin, and yeah, and of course you are welcome to take a link. We keep some, absolutely.
So that
Yeah,
was something that really, really hurt me
I would be hurt by
to
that
the
as well.
core.
Yeah.
And I'm like, so this whole time I was just like a freak show.
Mm-hmm.
So that was something that was very, very, very hurtful. It was like almost like our friendship really didn't mean anything. It wasn't held with integrity.
Absolutely
And
not.
as you refer, you go back in time.
And when you
It,
think about it, she gave you a platform all that, a while, all that while back. She gave you a platform to
exactly.
speak about your life. And
Right.
okay, you really have no self. Some people have no self-awareness. I swear they really don't. And that just to me is
Right.
crazy. I just,
But I don't even think when you're close friends like that, you are very aware, and those kind of things are done purposefully. I do believe.
yeah, I mean, I could see that. I mean, yeah,
In my opinion, if
yeah,
I said
yeah.
something negative about you or just keep it real, and I was talking to somebody else and describing something about you, you would hope that, and it should be, and naturally it's respectful.
Yeah, of course. I mean, even, oh, this is Mizzy, my fat friend.
Right.
I mean, I'll take
Exactly.
that.
But who would say that? What kind of
Oh,
friend would say my fat friend?
that's just, and then just knowing that it's a disrespectful thing to say and to begin with. I mean, if she was truly your friend, she would know that's a disrespectful. That's just disrespectful towards you in any way,
Right.
shape, or form. Doesn't matter who's saying it.
Mm-hmm.
Just because she's your
Exactly.
friend doesn't. Yeah, it's. I'm sorry that there's a little noise in the background. Um, they're negotiating shower times.
Mizzy,
Yeah.
can you read Hells to the No-Nos
Yep,
comment,
sure. Hold on one
please?
second. I just got to cough a minute.
Okay.
Sorry.
Bless
Wait,
you.
I got to go back up. Hold on. Did you put a little? She's got the fancy handwriting. The fancy name. Did you see what it said?
Yeah, it
Do you want me to
says,
read it?
Yeah, if you could, because I can't find it. My thing's
So
pausing.
Tells to the No-No.
Yeah.
Said she does not know how to be a friend. She uses every single person she gets close to. She did it on Facebook as well.
Yeah, I heard that, and I believe somebody had told me that before this happened, that she did a lot of the same stuff over on Facebook and got I guess run off or something, maybe. I don't know. But no, she's definitely not a friend. Hills. I mean, just to say what she said. That's just
Right.
yeah. Do you think she manipulated you and Just Keep It Real's friendship? Like, did you think she kept you or anybody who were, I mean, I know the three of you are very close, but I also know that there's probably other people that you were kind of in your little, group or whatever. But did she manipulate things to?
Just a lot of emotional manipulation. But I think for me, even if she said something negative about Just Keep It Real, I wouldn't have, I don't remember, because I knew her and I love her. So, but I don't remember anything in particular. Just Keep It Real. Do you?
Well, there were the things that she said to me about you saying a particular thing regarding the business that you and I were in.
Right. Yes.
And in my opinion, she was trying to drive a wedge between us. So if you want to talk about that, I don't have to, but you can if you want.
Sure. Like, I had learned about this a while back, but Just Keep It Real and I have been doing some business together, and so I was learning, going through training, and Just Keep It Real was like an amazing human to train me on social media. It was just about social media.
Yeah.
And how to run your Facebook and things like that.
Right.
So I was
the majority of your business is done on Facebook.
Right.
Right. Yeah.
So she was teaching me this, and every day we had a morning, like I had like a list of things that will help grow my social media, and I'd work on that and work on that and work on that. And Christy texted me, "Are you okay? I haven't really talked to you." I said, "Oh, I'm just really busy working and stuff." And I said, "Just keep it real. In order to keep up your social media, she recommends X, Y, and Z." So I've been doing that. And it's a lot of work. It's literally a lot of work. And she's like, "I wouldn't do all that." Well, in return, she told Just Keep It Real that I thought I said she was too bossy, meaning and expected too much of me. And I'm like, what? I didn't feel that way. I didn't feel like that at all. And so, and Just Keep It Real was very upset. She was upset with me. And it would be like anytime, it was just like we were becoming too close and trying to put that wedge in between us.
Okay. But it wasn't anything like, she didn't play you guys against each other or.
Not that I'm aware of.
Okay. So I think, we got through all of the questions that I have, right? Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Okay, so we do Gator Hater, and a couple of people had asked this, and do either, it's either one of you, I don't know, but Do you feel that the fiance knows about the money things, or do you think she hides it from him as well?
I think she hides it from him because
Okay.
I don't know what the money thing is for and why there's this need to be grifting or dry begging or any of those things. I would never think to call my friend and say, hey, I need some money, or I want to do this and I don't have the money, and then just kind of badger and badger and badger you until you kind of finally break in and go, oh, here's $10.
Right.
Whether it's $10 or $100, or, you know, why don't you pay your probation? And just keep it real. And I had discussed the whole little hey dude shoes for her grandson.
Shoes. I didn't even know
And
what they were.
hey
They
dudes.
shoes. I like the
And
Gala Gentle foam shoes. That's my favorite. I'm like, oh no, not the
right.
foam shoes.
And you know, she had told me about the incident that happened and why she had to do weekend jail.
Right.
And the
But she did middle
story,
of the week jail, right? Hers was more like middle of the week
right,
jail.
during the middle of the week jail.
Yeah.
But I believed her. She made it appear that she made a mistake, and by the time she got to her car, she realized she had the shoes in her purse
Right.
and went back to the store to go pay for them.
Mm-hmm.
When I'm like, how do you not know you have a pair of shoes in your bag, your handbag? How do you not know that?
Right.
And she told different people different
Different stories.
stories.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, oh my gosh. And it occurred like around the time when I started just becoming friends with her, I do believe, where she had court. And I didn't, of course, know about that until the whole probation thing. But I thought that probation money was for a separate incident a long time ago. And I had no clue. I mean, I am very naive when it comes to that, like criminal activity or
Most,
illegal
you know what,
activity.
you're probably better off being that way. But you know, I would think that the majority of America probably has no idea how it works. But then
Right.
again, like, you know, it's, I mean, it also goes state to state and things like that. I mean, we don't have anything called weekend trail here. It's called lock your ass up and you just go when we tell you you're going. I mean, you know,
Oh,
weekend trail. That's like,
sure.
that to me, it's like, I feel like, does she go and play golf? I mean, do they serve hors d'oeuvres, and you know, you go
And
check in on Friday night and you're greeted with a cocktail and you know.
right, I thought you could just chit chat with people. I'm like, oh, that shouldn't be too bad. 1 or 2 days. That's not bad. You can talk to people, get to know them. And she would say, no, you don't want to do that. You don't want to do that.
No,
And
you
I'm
really
like,
don't. No, you really don't.
but that's how I kind of look at it, you know?
No, I guess all it depends. But yeah, I guess all depends. But yeah, I don't know. We
Right.
don't. Yeah, I
And
just know here we don't have that weekend jail. They don't give us that luxury. You're getting locked up. They're putting you away when they feel like putting you away. Um,
exactly.
yeah, that's actually crazy to me. There was, let me see. Oh, okay. So we were talking about I had a question. Oh, so okay. So now, but with the probation fees, because we know that there is one other person she got for probation fees also.
Yes.
Um,
That I didn't know about.
okay, you didn't know about that until recently, right?
Correct.
Right, real recently.
Like, yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So with that being said, do you, or the story about the sister,
Right.
how accurate is that one? Or you just don't, or you don't?
Um, that I really don't know because I
Okay.
really don't know what to believe. But
Right.
the story about her sister did all of it, and she was arrested um, of trying guilt by association, pretty much.
Right, yeah.
But then I knew she had written some checks herself, and I'm like, are you kidding? Like, I just don't understand. I didn't understand how people can do those things. I really don't.
Yeah. No,
And then I'm thinking, well, maybe I can be a positive influence in her life. You
right.
know,
Of
maybe
course.
she can turn herself around and be like good and be a good person.
Right. Just
But
be a positive friend and yeah.
yeah, and I had no clue that she was, well, she must be on the phone all day talking to all different people and then sucking them in, and then they feel bad for her. Like, and what I've seen just recently is it's older people who are
Okay.
lonely, whether or not they have a fixed income or not, people who are generous on other people's channels and things like that.
Right.
I have very much, towards the end, very much noticed that, like that targeting. Like, oh my gosh, it's so good to see you. Hey, I wanted to get a message out to you. And I'm like, here they go. She's like, gonna try to reel them in because she probably hasn't gotten anything for a while.
Yeah.
And
Adding them
it
to the
just makes
Rolodex.
you sick. Exactly.
Yeah. Well, we knew that, yeah, there's a few that you felt that she was going after. And if
Right.
you're a generous person, people just start guarding
Paying
yourselves a little bit
attention.
better, or
Because even as 3 weeks ago, it was very apparent in her life that she was targeting some people because of what she was saying. Like, even during her discussion with Just Keep It Real, and Just Keep It Real was so upset. She was more focused on who was in her chat and calling them out. Oh my gosh, love, I haven't seen you in a
yeah,
long
right,
time.
because
I'd
they're
like
not
to
right.
call you. And I'm thinking to myself, oh my goodness, this is crazy. And that's great that you want to be friends with everybody. I get that. Some people are like that.
Right. No, yeah, there are
But
people in life that are like to surround themselves with friendships, whether they're, like, I don't know.
mhm.
I
But it was the most apparent when she was telling me she had no diesel, was stuck in Albany, but she reached out to Golden Treasure and said she's generous. That's when the whole light bulb clicked about that.
right.
And like, I was sick about it, literally sick over that statement, going, are you kidding me? I couldn't believe it. I
It's
just
because
couldn't.
she saw this person donating in another, or blessing, or gifting
What?
somebody in another chat, another creator in a chat.
Right,
Okay.
exactly.
Well, that. I am trying to think. I think, did I have another question that came? Something popped in my head, but then it popped right out. But do you want to take some questions from chat? Does anybody have
Sure,
anything that?
we can do that.
Yeah. Oh, I did have something. Yes, I did. Were you aware of her doing anything to people behind the scenes?
I think, after the Navy vet situation,
Yeah.
she kind of went to more behind the scenes,
Getting and doing things on people.
getting right.
And because I had somebody ask me if specifically, like, I know, Jilly, of course, because she was involved in
Right.
that, Do you know if she targeted anybody specifically? I mean, I don't want
Well,
to start any.
I don't want to start to assume.
Okay, so
But
it's not that you're 100% on this. So
well, I think I'm 100%.
okay,
But one of I think she may be a member in here. I'm not quite sure. But one of them was Faith. She saw Faith in her chat the other day with Just Keep It Real. And I remember one time when Julie started becoming friends with Christy, one of the things she said to me, but not really thinking about it, she's like, Faith and Jen Between, I think that's her name, they are very generous.
okay.
They're very generous. So, and that was like before Navygate. And now, when she was in the chat, I mean, it just puts red flags in your head and maybe she could say, no, that wasn't my intent. I really like to talk to her,
Right.
but based
Just
off of a comment a while back, she, even 9 months ago when she made that, it just triggered something in my brain.
right. Yeah. All right. Anybody else? Any questions? Any questions? And she's not here. I mean, link, and if she wants the link, she can have it. And and if somebody is friendly with Faith, please get her a message to protect herself. This is the second person I heard people coming for that lady. Ma'am,
and
Faith, you're a sweetheart. Please.
The whole reason for me to come, and I had asked if I could do that because I knew it was a safe place here. It really wasn't for me, but it was for those other women where people had, it was for those other ladies to try to protect people and let them know. It took me over a year before I actually believed she was scamming people for money. I prefer that word as opposed to grifting. I didn't believe it. Like,
I'm not going to say looking the other way so much, but you kind of have blinders on when it's a friend. You kind of, and especially in a community like this, when people are always hurling out, I want to say, there's always rumors going around, or people are throwing out false information, and you never know what to believe sometimes, because it always comes out of all over the place. So of course you want to believe your friend.
Right. You do.
Yeah.
And it's not like we were just like YouTube friends. We became friends outside of YouTube.
Right. Yeah.
And even in person.
Yeah, you had you had a weekend together, or
yeah.
Looks like someone. I don't know who that is, Shelby. Anybody else?
Yeah, but that was the only reason why I did this, was to protect other people's pocketbooks and their hearts. And maybe one day she will become somebody's really good friend and be a good friend to everybody.
And right. And when you tell people that you're a good person, you don't. You shouldn't have to tell people you're a good person.
No.
Or have people vouch for your goodness.
Exactly.
And hey, everybody's got a little yuck to them, right? Nobody's perfect, but when it's more imperfect than perfect, and you can start to question things about your friends.
Exactly.
Just keep it real. Did you want to add anything? Oh, do I have to call you by your new name? All right, Julie, feel better,
Just keep it
sweetie.
frank. Somebody made a comment out here.
I didn't.
Jenny O said her friendship
Yeah.
is transactional. Yeah.
Very.
It's
Yep.
also very
There you go.
conditional. Conditions on what you can provide her with, as opposed to, and I will tell you, I have an unconditional relationship with Just Keep It Real.
Yeah.
We're extremely good friends. Her husband and my fiance are extremely good friends. And, it's just a relationship the way it should be.
Yeah, of
I
course.
don't,
Yeah. Yeah.
and it shouldn't be transactional.
Hey, I'm here, y'all.
Okay. Well, bees are just putting she gave me a little, she said if there was anything you wanted to add.
I mean, I think Susie did a great job.
Absolutely.
In, telling a lot of what went down between the three of us. The only thing I wanted to add was I think people are wondering why Susie and I made the decision to finally break away from her.
Okay, yeah.
And it's because I got a phone call from a wonderful, wonderful person who told me that while, myself, Susie, and Christy were all friends, she was running her mouth about us, calling us derogatory terms and such behind the scenes while we were still friends. And the night that I got that phone call, and I love you, you know who you are, thank you. That is the night that I was like, okay, I'm done, right?
Yeah.
So I think that's very important to bring that up. And I'm obviously not going to out this person, but I absolutely 1,000% believe everything she told me.
Okay. And we'll thank you, person, if you're here. Thank you for having them wake up. Sometimes I'd want to just shake, Just Keep It.
That's the other thing. Like, I know everybody.
I'm sure it bothered her that you and I were friendly.
Probably. But I know everybody on here right now was probably thinking, why the hell are y'all friends with her? You know what I mean?
Right. Exactly.
And it just took that one person. It was kind of like the straw that broke the camel's back,
Yeah. Yeah.
And I really love this person, and thank you 1,000.
Yeah, and look, you started to like her. There was some kind of quality that you saw in her that you thought was good, and it was something that made you want to befriend her and become friends with her, right? There had to have been something. You
Right.
just didn't willy-nilly one day wake up and say, let me go find some random stranger on YouTube to be friends,
No.
And
I think Susie said it best. I don't remember when she said it, but she said it at some point. Something about standing up for the underdog. You know what I mean?
Yeah, right.
And I kind of feel like in the beginning, because we didn't know her that well, we were like, what is happening here? Like, why does everybody hate her? And let's just try to be her friend. And we did, y'all. Like, even through Cootergate and all that.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Like, we were telling her,
make better choices.
Why are you doing that? Like, behind the scenes, we were like, y'all, she even practiced this.
Right? Oh, yeah, for like
Before
a day or two. Yeah.
And we're like, don't do it. Don't do it. Don't. Like, we were, I don't know. It's, anyway, thank God for this one person that opened my eyes and,
Right.
made me see the light. And We won't go into the nasty shit she said to me in text messages because I've already talked about it.
Yeah.
And I'm over it. And I just want her and whoever's texting me to leave me alone. That's it.
And Toys had said, this is, she always thought that she lied about knowing Michelle in real life. Do you think she did? What are your thoughts on it? I mean, and
I
not,
don't think so.
No.
I don't think so.
even while you were friends with her. I mean,
No.
Nope.
Okay.
Don't believe it at all.
Okay. Oh, neither do I. I never did either. I never did either.
Nope. Like Michelle's her own shit show, right?
Right. Yeah, of course.
Right.
But if y'all will recall, when Michelle first came on the scene, Molly Golightly had a huge following, right?
Yeah.
And Molly said, Michelle is your cash cow.
Yeah,
basically.
I mean, Molly said that to
And-
a lot of people, but
right, but I'm saying,
yeah,
as soon as she said that, I feel like Christy jumped on that. You know what I mean?
course, well, of course,
And she was like, "Oh,"
lots of people did. Yeah,
she was like, "Oh, I live in Georgia. Let me tell everybody I met her in a bar."
right,
Right?
yeah.
And she made up that fake text about the whole meth thing. I don't believe that was true.
I never believed that either.
I don't believe that.
I think Michelle.
I feel like the minute that everybody or Molly said Michelle is a cash cow, she had so many followers, and I'm guilty of it too. Like, I wasn't going after Michelle for being a cash cow. I was going after Michelle because she's a fucking idiot.
Well, yeah.
Like, right.
So did I.
But we all know that Christy is an absolute, opportunist.
Yeah.
And she made up this story. Oh, let me say that I met her in a bar. No, she didn't. I don't believe it. That's my opinion. I'll hush.
I just want Beezer, so she said, I've said this time and time again. I think a lot of people came in and saw the money that Molly was making. I call it Molly money, right? Making that Molly money, right? People were sending her food to her house and gifts and not just little stupid things off your Amazon wish list, really good gifts, and I think everybody saw that. They listened to what she said and they ran with it. They ran, they tried to run with it. But
and then
I think she also came from a different community, right?
Mm-hmm.
Where she was doing this in a different way,
Right.
She just took the Michelle tool and used that.
Right. And then targeted people, vulnerable people.
Snake, I love you.
Yeah.
Sorry, I had to highlight that one. The Mooly money. That's funny. She was very, very in your face with it. And a lot of people, I think, saw that and they were like, wow, I can make that kind of money I can make that kind of money.
Right.
All she does is sit there and yell at people,
Exactly.
Yeah, and that's kind of my point. I think Christy heard that and ran with that.
Yeah.
And then she started, making up these stories about Michelle. That's what happened.
Misty, we addressed this a little earlier. We don't know why we don't know why he is. But we don't, right. It's not, I mean, she really just kind of like every time it's asked, like, why can't he help you? There's always an excuse of why he can't help or why she can't get in touch with him or.
Right.
From what Susie said earlier, one day she was broke down on the side of the road and didn't have gas or something. And every time Susie would be like, well, we'll call your fiance. And she had an excuse for that. All right, we'll call your daughter or your child. And so.
And I think that she really plays on your heartstrings. She finds something that really gets to your soul and uses that as a way to have you give her money, like being with her grandchild. But it's just the two of us. How can you let her, you know what I mean? Not that she would say that, but she would say it in such a way that you'd be inclined to help her out.
Right. Okay, so she's
And
And
you
we
see the
didn't.
comment. That's what Beezer was told when she gave her the money for the.
yeah, she has done that. She has said something to the similar effect.
Okay. Yeah.
But
And we
he
didn't
pays,
get into. We didn't even, Susie. We didn't even get into ambulance gate.
Oh,
What?
that's the ambulance. Or something
Oh
like that.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
we didn't even touch on
Did
that.
I
And
did I
that's,
miss that on my list? I think I might have missed that on my list. Sorry.
I
I had
don't
one on my
even
list.
Or
think
even with
disgusting.
and her dog, which was recently
Oh, and the
supposedly
dog
ill
too.
and didn't have any money to go to the vet. Well,
Mhm.
what about your fiance? No, he said no, you know, and it pulls on you because you care about animals. And personally, I don't even know when those photos were taken of the dog that I saw or that video was made.
Mm.
And so, like, take the dog to the vet. No, I don't have any money. And then says, like, a couple hours later, oh, the vet just said to give it vitamins. And I'm like, what? What? Yeah, that dog just needed way more than those pictures needed way more than vitamins.
Yep. Oh yeah,
So,
ambulance gate is a whole nother story, y'all. We could talk about that for 2 hours.
Oh,
It was
right.
crazy.
Yep.
well, I can mute for a second and you could talk about it and I go grab another cup of coffee. I'm kidding.
It's
Oh,
quite the
yeah,
story.
that's a story, huh? Okay.
Exactly. And why
Yeah, that happened on.
a week,
She
the
Oh,
was.
I think
24th
actually,
of February.
I have the dates on that one.
It was the 24th of February
February 24th. Yes.
Right, February
after the
24th, right,
gas.
yeah.
Oh
90% sure
God,
she needed
y'all.
surgery. Okay.
Yes, that.
Then the next
Okay,
day, yeah. But the emergency room was only a 2-hour visit or less
Right.
than a 2-hour visit.
And they diagnosed her with a torn ACL and PCL at her little podunk hospital. That doesn't happen. That's not how it happens. And I can tell you how I know. Because my daughter and my son both had torn ACLs, and they do not diagnose that at the ER. And if anybody goes to an ER, you know how it is. Like, you're not in and out in a couple of hours, um, with a diagnosis saying you need surgery.
Right.
Y'all, it is so much. Like, there's so much we haven't talked about tonight that we could. Like, so much.
yeah.
These are
We
just
could,
the highlights.
right.
The too long didn't read portion. I'm kidding. Oh, it's 5 hours just to start. Yeah, just to start long late for sure. Yeah, I mean, yeah,
Yeah. Been there many times with my children, and yeah, minimum 5 hours.
definitely.
Minimum.
Right. Well, does anybody have any more questions other than the ambulance gate? We'll have to save that for maybe just keep it reals panel or my panel. So we don't have to be respectful.
Right.
Yeah, ambulance gate is a whole.
Laylo, I got coffee in time. Let's go. Well, that's Laylo. I'm gonna have to mute for a minute because I'm gonna need more coffee. I just finished my coffee.
Give
And we don't
you the
want
short version. Okay, I can give you the short version
Okay.
real
Okay.
quick because I'm gonna be honest with y'all. Today's my birthday.
Oh, that's right. I forgot. Happy birthday. Happy birthday.
Oh,
Thank you.
yeah.
And I've been on
Happy
mute.
birthday, space, exclamation point, exclamation point.
Right.
I've been on mute for a while, and my little grandsons came out here and said, Gaga, come in and look what we did for you. They have the whole kitchen decorated for me right now.
Oh, how cute.
So I need to do this quick, but I'll tell you about ambulance gate really, really, really quick.
Okay, we can always do another.
Yeah, we can do another one. But basically, I was on the phone with her on February 24th. Thank you, everybody. Aw, I love this chat. So anyway, we were on the phone. She called me. I was getting ready for one of my grandson's birthday parties. And, I was doing my hair and putting my makeup on. So I just stayed on the phone with her. And she had her grandson with her, and they were at the park. I believe right down the street, maybe from her home, I think. Not far. But anyway, they were playing or whatever, and then all of a sudden she starts like screaming like something was wrong, and I was like, what's wrong? And she said that she had fallen off of some sort of merry-go-round.
Okay.
And I was like, and she sounded like she was in a lot of pain.
Okay.
And so I said to her, can I call I'm not going to say his name, but
Okay, yeah, okay. The dude.
the fiance.
Yeah.
Can I call him? She said, no, he's playing golf. I was like, huh? Like, I don't know. Like, if something so traumatic happened to me, my first call would be to my husband. You know
Absolutely.
what I mean?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
So
the person you're going to put your emergency contact number on their hospital paperwork,
right.
right?
Right. And if he doesn't respond to me, we gonna have a problem. You know what I mean?
Right.
So anyway, we hung up, and I don't know, maybe 10 or 15 minutes later, she texted me and said, I called 911 and ambulance is coming. I was like, what?
And she doesn't have insurance.
So she
to
says.
my knowledge.
But anyway, that's another
so
story
she
too.
says.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, like within 10 minutes, she was texting me talking about, she was going to be transported by an ambulance. And I was like, for what? In my head, I was thinking, for what? And, I went to my little grandson's birthday party because, duh, that's what I was doing. And about 2 hours later, only 2 hours, she texted me. Sorry, y'all. I'm in Savannah and the pollen is bad. About 2 hours later, she texted me and said, I have a torn ACL and PCL, and they are 90% sure I have to have surgery. And I have been through torn ACLs with my children who were in sports.
Right.
That's not how it goes down.
They referred you to an orthopedic. an
Well,
orthopedist.
the first thing that they do is they refer you to an imaging specialist
Oh, well, yeah.
to get your MRIs done. An ER, they don't, especially in a small town, they don't have MRI
Oh,
equipment.
yeah. Well, see, here they do. Yeah, here they do. But yeah,
Well,
they would
they
send you
don't.
down to
They
an
do
MRI.
not.
Yeah.
They do not in these small
I
town
mean, yeah,
facilities.
I
They
should,
don't.
yeah.
So, and furthermore, when you go to an ER, you don't get in and out in 2 hours. You just don't. Like, I've never had that experience. I wish I
Me
did.
neither.
Um,
Especially for
so
something that it's not bleeding, causing chest pains, or
right, heart
yeah,
patients are first.
or you're what do you call it? You're gonna contaminate everybody with
Right.
something. Yeah,
It
infectious
just didn't.
disease. Yeah.
It just didn't make sense. And again, I was at my grandson's birthday party, and while she was texting me, I was like, you know what I mean? Like I was focused on my grandchild.
Right.
So
Of course,
anyway,
you should be.
so then, and again, I've been through 2 ACL tears where both my children had to have complete ACL replacement surgery.
Okay.
So I already knew the process. And thank you, Georgia Mom. I'm here. Maybe we can meet up. I'd love to. Um, I just knew the process and I knew she was lying to me. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like I just knew it. And then I asked her, I was like, are you sure it's a torn ACL? Because that's pretty serious. And I suggested to her, I said, maybe like a dumbass, I said, maybe you just have like maybe a hairline fracture in your, whatever the bone is called, in your lower leg. Is that I don't know what they're called. Femur or
Medical people,
something.
I just blanked out. I don't know.
So then, how about a couple of days later, this girl told me she went to her regular doctor that prescribes her Xanax to her, and he diagnosed her with a hairline fracture. Tibia, maybe.
Fibula, tibia, I don't know. Your shin
Tibia,
bone? I
tibia.
call it my shin
Yes.
bone. My shin bone?
Yeah, but my point is, she went to her regular doctor to get her Xanax refilled or whatever, and that doctor diagnosed her with a hairline fracture after I suggested maybe that's the issue. See what I'm saying?
Tibia.
She just ran with it.
Right.
And she also sent me a picture after she left the ER, and all she had on her leg was a damn ace bandage.
Oh.
I was like, you're a damn lie, because when my kids had this happen to them, they were sent home with these crazy looking braces, you know?
Right, yeah.
So that is kind of another thing that made me start questioning her.
Right. And then the next day she
So
was out shopping.
yes,
We were all on a 3-way call and she was shopping.
called us the next day, me and Susie, on a 3-way call, and she was out walking everywhere like she was fine.
She was shopping like it was her job.
That's ambulance gate.
That was a good short version.
That was a good one, yeah. Good one. I didn't know it, so that was news to me. I was listening very intently. Well, that's why I was like, Tell me more. Tell me more. Them pain pills must have kicked in, you know. I don't like to say anybody's ever done, you know, the relapse thing, you know.
Right. Yeah.
Anyway,
I'm the same way. The only person I've talked to on the phone constantly, Snake, is Bisa. She's the only one who gets at least a daily phone call from me.
I think
Yeah.
February 23rd and February 24th is when I started really
Yeah, that was the day
kind
she
of
was
waking
born.
up
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
what she
We
was
both did
doing.
actually that day because things just started not making any sense in general.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. And when I guess when you finally step back and look at things and through different
Right.
eyes, or yeah. And and it sucks because you really do. Yeah, 5 to 6. Me and Bees are with our weird morning hour talks.
But I think we pretty much covered everything, you know. Um
Oh, Faith sends best wishes. Just keep it real. That's from Wandering. Just said that. I don't know if you saw that. Please
I don't know, the chat's
tell
moving
Faith to
really
watch her
fast.
back. Just tell Faith to watch her back with that.
Yes, Faith, if you're
Yeah.
listening, please, please, with
Faith,
that girl, like, I'm not telling you what to do, you know, with your money or who you support, but with that one, I am telling you, please stop it. Please.
Right. And it will never
Please.
end.
And we know, what we didn't do. Magna said, "Is there any possibility he's simply just a roommate?" The boy, the fiance.
I don't know.
I don't know. That's a weird
It's
situation that I understand.
I don't either because they never go out in public together. They do vacation together,
Mm-hmm.
and have seen pictures from those vacations, but like they don't go out. He's very involved in the community. She doesn't go to any community events. Nothing.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, it does seem like
Yeah.
she does. Yeah, that does seem like that's a lot of hiding. That's whether a real. I again, I don't say anybody relapsed or whatever, but that is part of addict behavior, the hiding stuff. Believe me, I know
Right.
how to hide when I'm
Right.
drinking. You know.
Mm.
But shouldn't he notice it after 14 years of being with her? You know?
You would have to assume he would.
Hi, Tamika. We don't know. We don't. It just seems like she keeps a lot of stuff from him, and from what everybody's been, with Susie and Just Keep It Real have said, and people that have been around her more.
Mm.
Yeah.
Maybe that's true, Beezer. Maybe he just overlooks it. I mean,
Right.
you guys did. Beezer did. You did. You two did. I'm sure there's lots of other people that overlooked it, and I mean, she's had a lot of people leave her and come back, and that's their personal
I
business.
ain't going
I don't
back.
want to. I don't even want to comment.
Mm-mm.
I'm not
But
going
yeah,
back.
I mean,
Me
Y'all can mark my
neither.
words. I'm not going back. No, ma'am.
After hearing those comments about the nasty things she had said about me and just keep it real, it's like
Yeah.
the whole we were being played for the entire year.
yeah,
Right.
and I can see that because she had a financial crime and he is in finance, so yes, I can understand that. But I don't know. If I just, I'm not gonna speak for somebody else.
Crazed. Anybody know what's up with that cake mix she has in bulk stock? Because she's going to make millions when you can't buy it anymore.
Oh, the Dolly Parton cake mix.
Yes.
Yeah, they apparently don't buy the banana one because that's the only one I see in any of the stores up here. It doesn't move. It doesn't move off the shelves, I'm telling you. Gator hater, I was about to highlight your comment, but I am going to refrain from it. But just know, I did give it a nod. The Dolly Parton cake mixes.
Right.
Oh gosh, it's like the next Beanie Baby, I guess. I don't know.
Exactly.
Invest in Bitcoin, you'll do better, I guess.
So hey y'all, I'm gonna jump down because
Yeah, but I think we're gonna wrap it up anyway. I mean, unless anybody else has
Yeah.
any
my
questions,
family has done so many
yeah,
wonderful.
you
I'm
go and
watching them, and they
go and
are
enjoy your
like
birthday.
rushing
Stop,
around
go.
the kitchen. They decorated for me,
That's so
and I
cute.
really need to
Aw.
go give them some attention.
All right, well,
Well,
you
All
have
you
right, and
have a wonderful birthday.
I'll post pictures so y'all can see them.
awesome. Okay,
Sounds
awesome.
All right,
good.
love y'all.
Love you. Have a good night. Happy
Bye.
Good
birthday. Happy
night.
birthday. Enjoy. So anybody else? Nobody else has any other questions for Susie? Susie, do you want to end with anything or?
No, I just hope people just stay aware, not just
Not just
people that
everybody.
everybody.
Right.
You just need to be very mindful that it's not normal behavior when a friend asks you for money ever. And in this situation, it's just horrible, and they need to get a job. If you need to make money, get a job. And that you cannot be asking, it's not normal for somebody to ask you for money.
Yeah.
And I'm not talking just little, even $10. I mean,
Yeah. But like
you
even
can't do nothing for
well,
$10.
Jilly's cursing, but Jilly, not bad language. No, but true. You know, Jilly really wanted that mirror for her great
Yeah,
niece, right? And I am sure she donated lots of stuff to get her name up on that wheel, and then
exactly.
yeah. And you all
Yeah,
know me with that wheel and my wood. I got an issue with that wheel thing. So, but
exactly.
I'm not good at this guy. Yeah. So I feed my unhoused Dolly Parton. Dude, the mixes were 2 for $1 at the store and they don't expire until 2025. Tragic.
Oh my gosh, that's
Make
so
the
funny.
cupcakes. Yeah, just make cupcakes. That's great.
It'll feed a lot of people.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. Well,
But
thank
thank
you.
you.
Yeah, and thank you for being up here. And I really I hate it for everybody that was involved in this whole thing. And when you have friends, you want them to be your friends, and
Exactly.
and I really, and just the things, I don't know what she said about just keep it real, but just that one thing she said about you right away, I was like, oh no. I was like, no.
Yeah.
So,
It was unfortunate,
yeah,
and it was disrespectful,
absolutely.
extremely disrespectful.
Absolutely. And then thank you, Angie. Angie just dropped Susie's link there.
Well,
She does
thank
have the
you.
sub up. She does have the video posted showing all of the money that she did donate, because if it was a loan,
Right?
it never got paid back, I guess. You're right. She never got paid back. So
No.
if you want to go and see that, that's over on Susie's. I couldn't share it because this laptop's a little slow and I was trying to, but all right. Well, thank you
Well,
for being
thank you
here.
so
You are
much. You're
welcome.
welcome.
And I just wanted to say thank you to the mods. Thank you for everybody being here and being very respectful. Honestly, everything was great today. Thank you. And I'm glad we stayed
Good.
on track. For the most part, we
Good.
stayed on track. It was great.
Yes. Thank
Oh, and
you.
yeah,
You're
Jilly's.
welcome, Jilly. It was nice to get things off your chest and mine.
All right. All right. Well, I'm going to end it here. Everybody have a great night. You have a great night, Susie. Happy
Thank
birthday
you.
again to Just Keep It Real. Enjoy your vacation there. And I'm not going to plug my channel.
See you.
I'm not gonna go live tonight. I think I might go live tomorrow. So meet me over there tomorrow.
All right.
All right.
Thank you.
Thanks. Bye, everybody. Have a good
Bye.
night. Okay. Bye. All right. Have a great night. Thanks again. I hope we answered questions and everybody had a great night. Take it easy. Bye.